former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it.
That is a great
Look
move.
at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices
I'm astounded.
on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted.
It's constitutional,
now, 10 years
too.
ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing.
They're pulling Biden after
Texas is different. Florida is different.
Look at his face.
This is it.
Oh, my God.
And right now,
He'll step down gracefully.
That's the vote.
Is the medical emergency thing real?
Like
I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen tonight. I'm
the
saying they're going to go back and be like, you can't do this. He's going to bow out.
There was a time where I thought if Trump talked too much, it would be terrible. It is wonderful for him to sound like this and Biden to look confused while he's talking. Biden looks like he is falling apart, like he doesn't know where he is. Look at him. He looks scared.
Trump's talking in straight lines.
Yes.
Because that has to do with other
This is
things.
probably going to end up, if it keeps going like this, this is every bit as brutal as JFK versus Nixon. Every bit as brutal.
I'll be suspicious if we go to a commercial break and he comes back with a great voice and high energy.
Well, they knew his voice was bad before he walked in there. You can tell.
Maybe they got something
We'll
real
put the
quick.
baby aside, and we'll determine what we do with the baby.
I
Meaning
mean, that's where
we'll
we
kill
got
the
cheap
baby.
fakes from. They're,
He's
What
bringing up
happens
North.
if we brought it
Well,
back
Phil's
to
a
the
singer. He
States
knows when
and
you
the
lose your
country
voice,
is
it's
now
from overuse.
coming
You think he's been
together on this
talking a
issue?
lot?
But it's been a
Trump's
great
bringing up
thing.
Northam.
Thank you. President
He
Biden.
brought up that they want to do the post-birth abortion.
What you've done.
Keep him calm.
The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they were all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are.
Why does the doctor have to be a guy?
The idea that
Catholic
states
president.
are able to do this is a little
Hollywood
like saying
Catholic.
we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a
mean
young
the 10th
woman
Amendment?
was murdered. And
Idiot.
He went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant.
What?
Coming in. They talk about that.
Yeah, I know, but
Here's
like,
the deal.
How did
There's
we
a
get
lot
here?
of young women are being raped by their in-laws.
How did we?
by their
What? What is he doing?
You
brothers
say
and
rape by
sisters.
in-laws?
By their in-laws, yeah.
It's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
What?
they cut it off. He was
Moderators.
doing so badly.
Moderators are helping.
By
him.
the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's
look
the
at his
most
face.
dangerous place anywhere in the world. Consider the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which, frankly, they didn't. But they would have, everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can
Yeah, dude. That's the possum face.
Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to
Any legal
terminate
limits?
pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade.
Already mad, and he's mad at Dana.
First time is between the
Get her, Joe, get her.
Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Elected.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby.
I didn't close your mouth.
Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican.
Oh, he's trying.
Yeah, they're trying to help him.
That is simply not true.
Pull up the video.
Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance.
Biden is lying. Northam said this on the radio.
For late-term abortion.
And there's video of it.
Period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years,
that's a soundbite right there for
51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do?
It's
What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You save a lot of lives.
Immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns.
Yep.
Given that, why should voters
Tran
trust you
was the Virginia rep
solve this
who
crisis?
proposed the bill to allow
Because we worked very
abortion
hard
at
to
the
get
point
a
of birth
bipartisan agreement
on video.
Not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that,
Because they're paid by the cartel.
When he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages.
Oh, that's what Obama did.
Literally.
The families were separated.
So
That's not
you're encouraging human
what
trafficking.
I've done since I've changed the law. What's happened? I've changed it in a way that now
I remember Fast and
we're in a
Furious
situation
under
where
Obama and
40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban.
See the brow thing he's doing? I mentioned he would do.
The total initiative.
furling his brow, trying to look.
What we can do with more border patrol.
And Trump's doing the
asylum.
the,
It's like, what?
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end.
Yes!
He said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our
Biden is-
country.
Look at him. Oh my God.
I hope-
That's why they cut the camera.
They keep cutting away
Yeah,
from
they
Biden.
have to. They don't want to show him.
Open up our border.
He said, I don't know what he said in the end.
People that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the
Look at his
largest
face. What
number of terrorists coming into our country right now. All terrorists, all over the world,
a man
not
with
just in
sundowners.
South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president.
Joe's
but I won't
face.
say
The
that.
memes that'll come out of
He
this.
endorsed me for
Trump's
president.
face out and put anything else for him to react to.
But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all
10
over
million
the
in 4
place,
years.
including the people that are coming up in
Thank you,
caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in his administration.
What?
Killed
Okay,
three American
Okay, so
soldiers.
This is
Killed three
beautiful.
American soldiers.
So who's
That's the
replacing
only terrorist
Biden?
that's
I
there.
got Whitmer.
I'm not saying no terrorist ever got through, but the
Newsom?
idea
You think
we're
Newsom?
emptying their prisons,
Biden
we're
won't leave.
welcome.
I think we'll know within a week.
It's simply not true. There's no data to support what he
Maybe
said.
tonight.
Once
Maybe
again, he's
tonight.
exaggerating. He's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything.
It would only
He's the
get
one that
better.
killed people with the bad water, including
I don't think it could get better.
hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border.
Second biggest issue,
Ridiculous,
immigration.
insane, and very stupid policies. People are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old.
12 years old.
This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything
Illegal
like
immigrant just killed 2
and we have
people
to
in
get
the
a lot
Irving
of these people
Chick-fil-A
out, and
next
we
to
have
the
to get
Blaze
them out
Studios.
fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels.
Yeah, he's nailing this.
In New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all.
Yeah, it's not even.
And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in. And it's a very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie.
Told you.
Every single one.
Good call,
For example,
Claire.
veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act.
He forgot about
1
Just
million
said
of
that
them
the
now have
children
it.
dying because of illegal immigrants was a lie.
I know.
Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And he opposed, his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My
Donald
son
Trump,
was not a
63
loser,
cents,
was
up
not a
8.
sucker.
Joe
You're
Biden
the
down
sucker.
38,
You're the
down to 38 cents, down 7
Trump?
since the start.
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation.
He's
it
just
wasn't.
killing it.
That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one.
He said you said, I don't care.
The idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. American history.
It's not true.
And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and we'll see you all there.